Where is the memory of your first day at school? Not in which specific neurons, but where does it feel like it is? Our language is full of spatial metaphors for concepts. A close-minded person, a far-fetched idea, or a deep thought. This isn't just poetry. Your brain's navigation system, the hippocampus, which builds maps of physical places like your home, is also activated when you navigate social hierarchies or organize abstract information. Thinking, in a very real sense, is a form of mental travel through a landscape of your own creation. The same grid cells in your entorhinal cortex that fire in a hexagonal pattern to map out a room you're walking through also appear to map conceptual space. Think about the categories of animals. A robin is conceptually closer to a sparrow than it is to a shark. Your brain seems to plot these relationships on a cognitive map, creating a landscape of meaning. When you learn something new, you're not just storing a fact. You're adding a new landmark to this internal world, drawing a new road between previously disconnected ideas. But what does this mental landscape actually look or feel like? For some people, the answer is surprisingly literal. This is synesthesia, where stimulating one sensory pathway leads to involuntary experiences in another. The most common form is grapheme color synesthesia, where letters and numbers consistently evoke specific colors. The number 7 might always be a stable, particular shade of yellow. The letter A might feel inherently, unavoidably red. This isn't imagination. It's a genuine perceptual experience, a result of hyperconnectivity between brain regions that process shapes and those that process color. It's tempting to see synesthetes as unique, but their experience might just be a more intense version of what all our brains do. Consider the Booba/Kiki effect. Which of these two abstract shapes is named Booba and which is Kiki? Across the world, over 95% of people, regardless of their native language, map the rounded, soft shape to Booba and the sharp, spiky one to Kiki. Your brain naturally links the soft phonetics of Booba to the soft visual shape, and the sharp sound of Kiki to the angular one. This is a form of universal, unconscious synesthesia. Your thoughts have implicit textures, shapes, and sounds, even if you don't consciously perceive them. Close your eyes in a perfectly dark, silent room. What do you see? It's not a perfect void. You perceive phosphenes, faint, shifting, self-generating patterns of light and color. This is the visual noise of your nervous system, the baseline electrochemical activity of your retina and visual cortex. This is what nothing looks like to a living brain. Is it possible that the act of intense thinking modulates this internal canvas? Some cognitive scientists propose that directed thought can subtly organize this neural static, creating fleeting, non-representational patterns. You aren't seeing the content of the thought, but perhaps you are seeing the shadow of the cognitive machinery in motion. Thinking is not a purely ethereal process. It has immediate physical consequences. When you silently read this sentence to yourself, you are likely engaging in sub-vocalization. Tiny, imperceptible muscle contractions are happening in your larynx and tongue, as if your body were tracing the shape of the words. Your motor cortex is rehearsing the act of speech. Using sensitive electromyography, researchers can detect these phantom signals and, in some cases, determine what word a person is merely thinking of saying. The thought is literally trying to write itself onto the body. So, can we see thoughts? Not in the science fiction sense of playing a memory like a movie, but we are seeing the edges. We can see the physical location of a thought's processing with fMRI. We can all feel the implicit shape of a concept through the Buba-Kiki effect. We can detect the physical echo of a thought through subvocalization. The boundary between the internal world of subjective experience and the external world of objective measurement is becoming increasingly permeable. The question may soon shift from "can we see thoughts?" to "what does a thought look like when it's no longer confined to just one mind?"
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.